Hello folks, today we have a hands-on review of the Canisteo cellular smart blinds with smart home functionality. I'm going to walk you through the features, the pros, the cons and the different variations you can get and when each makes sense. Let's get right into it. Hello folks and welcome back to Gadget Joe, and today we have something a little bit different in. It's a blind for your window. And no, I haven't completely lost the plot. This is still tech-based, as these are smart blinds. They are automatic blinds for your home that can be electronically operated, and some, including the option we have here, can be connected to smart home setups to be controlled via voice command and more. The good folks over at Canisteo sent over these to me to check out and review. They've even given me a discount code for you watching too if you want to get some for yourself, and I'm going to reveal that code later on in the video. Before I dive into this specific set of blinds, I'm going to go over the company as a whole and show you some of the different options that are available through them, as it's a pretty extensive list to cover all areas. When you first land on Canisteo's website, you'll notice it's nice and clean. At the top, you'll find categories for roller shades, cellular, zebra, dual, woven woods, sheer, Roman and even outdoor shades. There's also a dedicated section just for motorization and automation, where you can explore all the smart control options. Now let's talk about the actual shade types, because not all shades are built for the same purpose. To begin with, we have roller shades. These are the classic go-to. They're simple, sleek and work great in bedrooms, kitchens or offices, or pretty much anywhere you want to put them up. Cellular or honeycomb shades, these are all about insulation. They trap air and help regulate temperature, so they're perfect for bedrooms or living rooms where comfort matters. We also have zebra and dual shades. These let you switch between light filtering and blackout, so you get flexibility in living rooms or media rooms. Sheer shades are all about soft light, ideal for dining rooms or hallways. And if you want texture, woven woods that bring that natural bamboo or reed look, which works beautifully in studies or accent spaces such as your living rooms. Canisteo also offers Roman shades, drapery and even outdoor waterproof and durable shades for patios. And here's where things get smart. Every single Canisteo shade is already motorized, but you get to choose how smart you want to go and how complex you want to go with the motor setup. The first level is a simple remote or a motorized wand. Push a button and then your shades move. No cords, no hassle, no anything basically. Super simple. Next level is add a smart hub. That opens up app control, voice commands with Alexa or Google Assistant and scheduling. And if you want the cutting edge, some Canisteo shades support matter over thread motors, which means they basically integrate directly with Apple Home, Google, SmartThings and more. No extra hub required. Powering the blinds, you get rechargeable battery motors that last months on a single charge. You can get solar panels to keep them topped up, or you can have wired options if you want a more permanent setup so you don't have to go back to keep charging them. Right, so which shade or blinds, if you're in the UK, work best in which room? We're going to run through a few examples. Don't worry, I'll get to the actual motor and blind in general very shortly. If you're looking for something in the bedroom, I'd go with blackout roller or dual shades for privacy and sleep. Pair it with a matter over thread if you're using Apple Home, so you can literally say, "Hey Siri, good night," and the shades close. In the living room, zebra or dual shades are perfect. You get daylight during the day and blackout at night for movies. Schedule them to drop automatically at sunset. For kitchens, roller or cellular shades, keep it simple, with a remote, so that you don't have to fuss about while cooking. If you've got a home office or media room, definitely opt for dual or blackout shades. Automate them to close when you switch your lights to movie mode. And then finally, outdoors. Canisteo's exterior shades handle patios and porches. Pair them with solar charging so that you never have to think about them, and the batteries should last permanently. So that's the site itself, and as you can see, it's a pretty intuitive little site. And when ordering your blinds, you can have them custom made to your exact measurements. They do have a handy little guide on how best to measure your window space to ensure you get the right size on delivery. The ones that we have here are the cellular variants. These ones are double walled for extra light reduction. They also help with sound and heat insulation in the room too, thanks to their double walled design. Mine was custom fit to go into my kitchen, which unfortunately is currently being renovated. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to mount them to the back wall of the studio so that you can see them in action. The unit itself feels nice and solid. It's got some weight to it, but that's mostly due to the motors and batteries included. Plus, there's a lot of fabric involved too. They look and feel very premium, very well made and constructed, and they don't feel flimsy at all. When unboxing the shades, you get the unit itself already cut and measured to the right size, an envelope with a user guide, warranty card and more. A long length DC charging cable that is USB Type A to C for charging the cable even when installed. Next you get the remote to control the unit. This one is white with 5 simple buttons on it and a small display at the top and a handy little mounting bracket to store the remote close by. A small box of mounting screws and plugs, and then finally 3 mounting brackets with a spring-loaded lock on them. Depending on the setup you opt for, this may differ for what you get. You're going to either get more brackets, less brackets, a different remote, or even a wand to control the blind. This top part of the blind is what holds all the motors in place. It's got pre-installed bracket locations that are labelled for you. Securing the blind to the bracket is super simple too, by taking the bracket and pressing it into position and then clicking into place. The little spring-loaded piece will lock it into place, and to remove it you just simply push it and it will pop right out. Going along the length of the top is a small brush strip to create a seal for preventing dust getting to the back of the shades and also to protect the walls a little bit too in installation. Moving to the left of the unit is a small silicone flap that can be lifted to expose the Type-C charging port and a power switch. This is nicely hidden away so you won't see it when installed, but ideal for quickly opening up when it's time to charge your blinds. Underneath this is a small pinhole that is used to reset your blinds to factory settings. When it comes to installing your blinds, it's super simple. Again, I'm doing it in my studio for the purpose of this video, which actually came in quite useful as it allows me to show in better detail the installation process. Hold the unit into position of where you want it to be, making note of the bracket location points on the blinds. Then make a small mark where they need to be and remove the blind. Using the included mounting hardware, just simply drill your holes and secure the brackets into position. Now that's done, you just simply need to lift the blinds into position and they fix in by angling the unit slightly so that the clip bites onto the lip of the unit. Once in, you just need to press back slightly and then position the unit into place and then stop pushing back and it will clip in nicely into position, and that's it. Installation really is super simple, and so long as your measurements were accurate when ordering, the blind will automatically be set to the size of your window. So when you press the remote to operate them, it will fit your space and stop within a few millimeters of your windowsill and on the edges. The remote itself is super simple to use and has just 5 buttons to operate the blinds up or down, pause movement, and to cycle through different frequencies. Pop the batteries in and you are good to go. To start the blinds up, you're going to need to power them up by holding the small power button for 2 seconds. The blinds will then jog up and down slightly, and then it will pair with the remote that you have. Now all you need to do is press down on the remote and they will come straight down. You can change the speed too if you need to by programming the remote with the button at the rear and syncing with the blinds itself, but the standard speed is plenty enough. It's not exactly blazingly fast, but then for an automatic blind, you don't really want them flying down at you. If you want to connect them to the home automation modes, then all you need to do is follow the instructions that will be included based on your relevant motor option to pair them with your preferred setup. The guides are clear and simple to follow with picture guides for each step, whether that be Alexa, SmartThings, Home Assistant or Hubitat, which are the options that are available with the Zigbee motor model that I have here. Other motors will offer similar instructions for extended software suites. The options are pretty exhaustive to name, but they really do try to cater for every eventuality and every home automation suite. And that's pretty much it. Installation is super simple. The blinds look fantastic and are super simple to operate too. It's a very pleasant experience all along. The unit itself is very well made and has a really premium feel to it. The operation is smooth and somewhat silent. The batteries last for literally months without needing to be charged. That long USB cable means you can charge them from even when they're installed. And the option for solar power or wall power is a nice touch too. The fabric used is high quality and they feel like they're going to last. In fact, the setup that I have in my living room have been up now for the better part of a year and they still look and function just as good as new. And I haven't even charged them once yet. And that brings me to my overall conclusion of these shades by Canisteo. Obviously, I only have this one in front of me to test and they offer literally hundreds of different setups and combinations. But if these are an indicator to the quality, then I can confidently say they are fantastic quality. Now, it's a little bit of a difficult one for me to review in terms of comparing to how these are to competing brand blinds or shades, because I've never really had any competitor brands to work with to see what the bar should be set at. So I'm going to focus on the positives, outline any negatives from a neutral standpoint based on what I have in front of me. The first positive is that they function absolutely fantastically. They work super smoothly and look amazing when in use. They really do get people looking, and whilst that's not the primary intention of the shades, of course, it's a nice thing to have and it really does make you feel a little bit posh. A point that could be seen as both a positive and negative is the pricing. These systems are not cheap, ranging between £100 upwards to well in excess of several hundreds for larger sizes and motor options. However, in terms of blinds in general, they are actually pretty reasonable. If you've ever had the pleasure of having custom blinds made or considered it, you'll quickly realise that they can become ridiculously expensive. So they may be more expensive than your traditional blinds that you pick up from B&Q, you know, the ones that you cut to size. But compared to custom blinds, they are about right. In fact, I would dare say they are on the cheaper end of the spectrum. Even more so when you consider these are automated, completely custom sizes, colours and designs. A lot of the higher costs of custom blinds by blind companies, well, I'm assuming that's what they're called, I may be wrong, but they come in the measuring and fitting services that they include, as well as store overheads and staff, whereas Canisteo relies on you doing the measuring and installation yourself, so they can just simply have them made to spec in the factory, cutting out a lot of the costs and the middleman, and in turn giving you a cheaper price. In fact, as I mentioned at the start, Canisteo have given me a unique code to get you an extra 10% off site-wide, which is simply 10% shades, as you can see across the screen now. So they're even cheaper. Installation is very simple to do. I managed to install these on my own, even with a 6-foot blind. I would recommend, however, with anything over 3 or 4 foot, to have someone else with you to help with the weight across the unit when holding them up, to mark for the brackets and for pushing the unit into place when done, as they have a fair bit of weight to them. It's absolutely imperative that you measure correctly. This could be another positive/negative point. I'm probably being a bit harsh calling it a negative though, as it just needs a bit of common sense and care and attention from you when measuring. They have a good guide that helps you work out what to measure and how to do it, but I would recommend measuring, writing it all down, then measuring again to be certain they match up. And if you're really unsure, get someone else to do it for you too. But the end result is fantastic and they fit really well and look fantastic. They're nice and uniform too in your windows. The build quality is very impressive. These units are so well put together, they feel solid and sturdy and like they will last a very long time. I can't really say how long the motors are going to last, but they're doing just basic operation, so they should, in theory, last many, many years. The materials used for the blinds themselves also feel great. It's really high quality materials and they really do a great job of blocking out light, especially on blinds like the cellular ones that I have here. And that's pretty much it. The negatives are not really strong negatives or proper negatives, and the rest are pretty positive. I'm very impressed with them as a whole. The company themselves are great to work with and communicate to. The blinds are great quality and the pricing is very, very reasonable, all things considered. Even more so with that 10% discount. It is something a little bit different to the channel from the usual sort of content I do, but it was nice to have a play around with something new and genuinely useful too. A huge thanks to Canisteo for sending these out for me to take a look at. As always, there's going to be a link down below for you guys to check them out, and don't forget that discount code if you do order any. That's it for me for this video. Let me know in the comments if you would rock some automated blinds in your home or business. Don't forget to hit that like button and smash the subscribe button for more like this. And from me, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.